Okay, today we are going to continue our discussion over division of rational numbers. More importantly, we are going to focus on what it means to divide a whole number or a mixed number by a fraction, and what strategies will help us divide a whole number or mixed number by a fraction. So, continuing on, we are simply going to look at some problems today and extend our use of the division that we started yesterday. So if we asked the question, how many 3/4 or 3/4 are in 14, we could write this expression as 14 divided by 3/4. Okay? Then we can represent it on a number line. So Sam starts to use the number line, but he does not know what to do next. What should Sam do? Well, if we were going to model this on the number line, then we would continue to make 3/4. The other way that we could continue doing this is by simply taking his line that he has that is equal to 3/4 and mimicking that over and over and over until we hit 14, and then we would get a fraction, a whole number, and a fraction for 3/4. So, but mathematically when we do this, we would have 14 divided by 3/4. Okay, and that equals. Now, the first step when we divide fractions would be to get them all the fractions. So I want to represent my whole number here as a fraction. So in order to do that, I have to add a denominator of 1. So 14 becomes 14 over 1. And then I get 3/4. Okay, well, yesterday when we talked about this, we were working with fractions with common denominators. So I'm going to go ahead and change this into another fraction with a common denominator, because that's one way that we can do this. So my common denominator would be 4. Because in division, when I have common denominators, all I have to worry about is my top number, my numerator. So this would stay at 3/4, 14 to 4. So we're going to take and we're going to multiply 14 times 4. So that's 16, carry the 1. 4 times 1 plus 1 is 50. So that'd be 56/4 divided by 3/4. All right, so that's, now we are able to forget about the denominators, okay, because they're equal, and we only have to focus on the 56 divided by 3. So 56, whoops, 56 divided by 3. 3 can go into the 5 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. We get a 2 left over. We come down with the 6. 3 can go into 26 8 times. And that would be 24. We subtract, we get a 2 left over. Now, our answer is 18. And then we have this 2 and this 3 over here, so that would be 18 and 2/3. So 14 divided by 3/4 is the same thing as 18 and 2/3. So that's one way. The other way would be what your elementary school teachers probably taught you, which would be to flip that second fraction. So let's take a moment and let's look at that whole method of flipping the fraction and why it works. We've been talking about for a long time that fractions are nothing more than division problems. So I'm going to start off with 14 divided by 1 equals divided by, let me rephrase that. I'm going to start off with 14 over 1 divided by 3/4, like this. Well, this would be 14 divided by 1. This is 3 divided by 4. So that second number in our problem is our denominator. So if I rewrite this expression as a fraction within a fraction, I would get 14 over 1 over 3/4. Now, I don't like the way this looks. This is very confusing to me. So in order to get rid of some part of it, I'm going to turn the denominator into 1, because I know when I work with fractions, if I have a denominator of 1, I really don't need to write the denominator. So like over here when we had 14 and we turned it into a fraction, we used 1 as its denominator. But 14 and 14 over 1 equal the same number. So if I'm looking at this, how would I turn 3/4 into a 1? Well, that's simple. I would have to multiply by the reciprocal of that so that I can turn this into a fraction that equals 1. So the reciprocal is what we use to turn a fraction into 1. So 3/4 times 4/3 would give me 12/12, and that equals 1. Now, because we are working with a fraction, what we do to the denominator or to the numerator, we also have to do to the other one. So because I multiplied 3/4 times 4/3, I also have to multiply 14/1 times 4/3. Okay, and if I do that, then 14 times 4 is 56. 3 times 1 is 3, and I get 56/3, which reduces down to 18 2/3. Okay, and then we'd have over 1, and we'd just simply drop the 1. So this is why the multiplying by the reciprocal works. So in order to shorten this up, I'm going to go back to my original expression right here, and I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to rewrite it as 14/1. Then I'm going to use my reciprocal, 4/3. And I'm going to be multiplying, okay, because this cleared out the denominator. This stuff right here got rid of that denominator, so all I need to worry about right now is the numerators, which were these two fractions. And so 14 times 4 equals 56. 1 times 3 equals 3. And then we reduce it down to 18 2/3. All right, so let's take a look at question A1. For question A1, Nyla plans to make small cheese pizzas to sell at a school carnival. She's got 9 blocks of cheese. How many pizzas can she make if each pizza needs the given amount of cheese? So for A1A, we'll start there. A1A. All right, if I have 9 blocks of cheese and I'm trying to divide those into thirds, I get 9 divided by a third. Well, I can rewrite that as 9/1 divided by 1/3. Okay, and then I can either make a common denominator, like I did up here earlier, okay, right here, or I can multiply by the reciprocal. So in green, I'm going to make them common denominators. So I'm going to make this 27/3, because that would equal 9, divided by 1/3, and I would get 27. In blue, I'm going to be multiplying by the reciprocal. So that would be times 3/1, and I get 27. So my answer for A1A is she could make 27 pizzas. All right, let's do it again with 3/4, or sorry, with B. Okay, so she's got 9 blocks of cheese. She's dividing them up into fourths. Okay, so I'm going to first change them into fractions with a common denominator. So first I need to change this into 9/1 divided by 1/4. And then my common denominator would be 4. So I would get 36/4 divided by 1/4. And then I ignore the denominator, so 36 divided by 1 equals 36. All right, and then again in blue, my second method would be to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to take 9/1 times 4/1, because 4/1 would be the reciprocal of 1/4, and that equals 36/1, which would be the same thing as 36, and she can make 36 pizzas from the 9 blocks of cheese using 1/4 of a block. All right, so take a moment, go back through these, review them, whatnot. But before you come to class tomorrow, I would like for you to finish A1. So you need to do C, D, E, and F. So before coming to class tomorrow, please complete A1C, A1D, A1E, and A1F.